The trumpet will tell you about yourself. The question is, are you paying attention? I want to talk about some tendencies that I see in trumpet players currently and in the past. I think it's important to bring these topics up in this video just in case you're able to become more aware of these tendencies and improve in these areas. The first thing I want to say is become aware of your bad habits. Everybody has bad habits. It's very helpful to become aware of what yours are so that you can adjust. Once you become aware of what your bad habit is, now you can get to work on improving in that area. So I give you an example of what I mean in the area of keeping time. So I have the tendency of playing on the back side of the beat. I used to have the opposite issue, but I was able to work it out, and then over time it kind of flipped. And so now today, when I kind of like lose my attention, I end up playing on the back side of the beat instead of right down the middle. Okay, there's some instances where you might want to play on the front side of the beat. My tendency naturally is to play on the back side. So I had an instance recently where my conductor had to ask me to play more down the middle, and I didn't take it personally. Matter of fact, I was able to ask a very good question. Are you asking me to play down the middle because I'm playing on the back side of the beat? And he said, yes, that's what it is. So I know what my tendency is, and when I was asked to correct it, I had a good idea of what needed to change. Okay, so why is this important for you? This is pretty loaded. First, I want to say you should have a teacher. You should have someone that can correct you, and you won't necessarily get offended. It's okay to be corrected. Secondly, when people are asking you for improvement, do you know what your natural tendency is? Mine is to play on the backside of the beat. Now, let's remove trumpet playing from this for a second and think about everyday living, everyday life. What is your natural tendency in your everyday life? Are you someone who is habitually late? Are you someone who easily gets angry? Are you someone who easily offends others? You don't mean to, but maybe you say something that can get under their skin. It's important to improve your awareness in this area so that you can improve. Practicing trumpet can teach you how to handle these things. So don't become offended if someone reminds you what your tendency is by asking you to improve in that area. You should know what your tendencies are. The second question I have for you is, are you in a hurry? So I can reflect back to my younger days of playing an instrument in band, and people who were in a hurry, they really weren't into band. They really weren't into their instrument. They were thinking about the other things. Now I have the privilege of teaching adults, and it really is a privilege, and I'm thankful for it. The people that are in a hurry, I'm noticing they're really, they're the leaders in their field. So they're used to leading other people, guiding, making things happen. With the trumpet, you can't rush the process. It is just that, it's a process. So I understand the natural tendency to want to be at the end goal now, today, that instant gratification that we have inside that shows itself at times. But the trumpet, becoming a master at the craft of playing trumpet, is a process that cannot be rushed. If you want to hurry along in the process, you do that by showing up every day to practice. But when you show up to practice, you have to be totally in the moment. You have to be like in the zone of right now, not thinking so much about the future. And so it's good to have a goal before you, but if you have that anxious energy where you're trying to, hurry things along, I've learned that's not really the best place to be in your mind when you're practicing. So just take your time and be diligent in practice, knowing that the act of showing up on a regular basis will help you to reach your goal faster. To show up every day. The third question I want to ask is, do you have confidence in yourself? Or how much confidence do you have in yourself might be a better question. If you were going to rank your confidence in yourself on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how much confidence do you have in yourself? So here's an issue that I have learned about having confidence in yourself. And I'm sure it's a lot more to it than what I'm about to say. But regarding playing the trumpet, I see fears of performing, being on stage and performing. Sometimes those fears have to do with the audience's perception of you. And sometimes those fears have to do with yourself in regard of your level of personal preparation. And a third issue I see is a lack of self-confidence because you might be comparing yourself to another person. So let's talk about the audience. They want you to do your best work. They're in attendance because they're hoping that you will have some of your best moments before them on stage. So if you're concerned about the audience, you can just kind of like push that aside, okay? They want the best for you. I want to talk about comparing yourself to other people, and the trumpet can help you with this, okay? Now, this is a life lesson we're learning through playing the trumpet. You're one of a kind. There's no other way to say that. You're one of a kind. You're one of all time. So if we're talking about playing any given musical idea, if we're talking about the quality of your sound or the information that your sound is putting out, you're one of a kind. So I told somebody recently, and this is true, I'm going to tell you right now, your sound is the audible manifestation of your soul. So if your soul is one of a kind, and it is, that means that your sound, your trumpet sound, is also one of a kind. Now, people can try to sound like you, and they can come close, but it's not going to be like you. Like, somebody that comes to mind right off when I say that is Wallace Roney. Like, Wallace Roney sounded a lot like Miles Davis, but he didn't sound exactly like Miles Davis. And when you A/B it, you can hear it. Like, you might be fooled at first, but then you'll be like, wait a minute, that sounds like Miles, but it's not. And that's because your sound is the audible representation of your soul. You're one of a kind. So as long as you show up daily on a regular basis, more time than not, how about that? To put in the work to practice your instrument, you're going to have a good sound. And I want you to be okay with your sound, knowing that you're doing the work, knowing that you're one of a kind, knowing that you're not going to sound like anyone else, knowing that no one else is going to sound like you. So that's what I wanted to talk about briefly today in this video. The trumpet will teach you about yourself. Are you listening? Are you paying attention? Are you broadening your awareness? If you are, then you will become a better trumpet player faster, and in turn, you'll become a better version of yourself. Join the email list, join the Trumpet Lessons HQ community. You can do that by signing up. There's a link in the description below. You're going to get a free gift when you do. It's my latest book called Master Endurance on Trumpet. All right, do that, and I'll see you in the next video.